It's December 2019. It means that the new year is about to begin very soon, and I'm pretty sure that you have been looking forward to 2020 with new dreams, new hopes, big ambitions, and you want to receive a more love and more hope and support from everyone around you. But guess what? You already have that kind of thing with you, and it's there inside you. You are your biggest supporter. Don't you believe in it? Well, some people may disagree with this at this point because there is something that stops them from believing in it. And what is that thing? That thing is grief. Grief or sadness is an emotion that seeps inside you, possibly after dealing with an accident or a trauma or a disaster. When grief happens, you feel like shrinking into a dot. You feel like doing nothing at all. Going through the routine work becomes so daunting that you literally do everything to avoid it. From brushing your teeth to cooking the breakfast or the meals, going to the work, even talking to the friends, and then going back to the bed at night, it becomes so horrible to you, so much undoable that you think that it's better to just stay in bed with that grief. Well, 2019 has not been an easy year for me, and that's why I am making this video so that I can tell you that three things that I have followed. I have in fact learned, not followed. So this video is actually coming out of my experience so that the way I am thinking to start my 2020, I can help you start the next year on the same positive note. Okay, so there has been some pivotal points into my life this year which I cannot talk about because that does not matter. What matters is that I learn from it. According to a quote, when you learn from a failure, it's not entirely a failure, isn't it? So, grief is something that we come to believe that it is a failure, that we have failed into something, that we have failed into keeping ourselves normal and up to the mark of the routine things, up in sync with our dreams and ambitions and hopes and the expectation that have been sprouting in every direction surrounding us, right? While I understand every single aspect of grief, I can also tell you that that it's easier to come out of it than you think. I have learned three things, and I'm going to share just that with you. Okay, let's get down to the first step. So the first step is to accept it. What makes anything work in your life? What makes your dream or hopes and those ambitions, everything work in your life? When you accept them as part of yourself, as part of your life, as part of your routine, right? Whatever phase you are going, whichever kind of grieving phase you are going into right now, I will tell you, I will in fact urge you to accept it. Because once you accept it, it's become easier to deal with it. It no longer becomes an alien thing into your life. It no longer becomes something out of your body experience. Once you accept your happiness and grief and every other emotion, you are actually embracing its aspects, its aftermath, and every single ounce of it. You are accepting it and telling yourself that it is the part of my body, it is the part of my soul, and I am going to deal with it. When you accept it, you learn better to deal with it. Second thing I will tell you that this is not the end of the world. December is definitely the end of 2019, but it is definitely not the end of the world, right? Grieving phase of it doesn't matter the size, whether it's a big grieving phase or a small grieving phase. Big grieving phases like losing your loved one, small grieving phases like getting your favorite coffee mug broken, shattered on the ground all of a sudden, whatever size or your grieving phase is, the thing you have to tell yourself that it is going to end. This is not the first time. Okay, it is going to end. This is not the first time that you have been dealing with such kind of phase. The nature is different, okay? But if you observe the pattern, there have been many moments into your life where you must have been felt similar kind of feeling like I'm stuck in this, that I'm not going to come out of it. It's so difficult. I cannot get out of my bed. I cannot work on that presentation. And that reminds me that I need to work on a presentation. Okay. And you feel that no, there is nothing more important in this world than staying into the bed, staying onto that couch and do just nothing. You must have felt like this previous times on so many stages in your life. So again, this is not the end. This is actually another phase. This is just actually another hurdle into your life in the journey of your hopes and dreams that we have to deal with it. Once you accept it, tell yourself that this is not the end of life and I am going to face much better things in my life after this. Third, and the most important tip, this is a mourning phase. You are mourning right now, right? You are grieving over something, some person or maybe some situation, right? But remember this, that this is also a healing phase. It is also healing you. I'll explain how. You must, I will give you a moment to remember the last time you were in this kind of grieving phase, okay? And you stayed stuck in it for maybe 2 days or a week or a month or maybe a year. But remember, after that, you came out of it and you started life afresh. But yes, with by being a new personality, by gathering more intelligence and wisdom on life, right? So this is also a healing phase. Those 2 days, 1 week, or a month, or that year, actually you gave yourself time, space, and permission to let that grief melt away from you. You allowed yourself to mourn. You allowed yourself to bring all those cracks inside you to come together and shape you into a new person, right? Do you see some sense in there? Because I believe that when you are mourning, you are also into healing. You are giving yourself permission to feel the grief, the depth of it, the intensity of it, and then your body, when it gets the time to do all of that, whatever by which it is being felt overwhelmed, when it gets that time, then it absorbs all of that, and then slowly it starts to rebuild itself. Your mind, body, and soul starts to rebuild themselves. So your mourning phase is also a healing phase. So if you think that you are going through a very weird phase or such kind of phase that you don't think this is that going to end, then I'm telling you that this will end. The thing is that you have to accept it first, and then you have to understand that this is not the end of the world. And third, that this is also a healing phase. This is not only a phase where you are being shattered, but this is also a phase where you are being rebuilt. So these are the three very powerful lessons that I have learned in 2019, and I am actually delighted to share this with all of you. I hope you can relate to it somewhere. If you have some more lessons to share on this topic, please do. I love to listen them. And until the next time.